It seems as if Congress is more divided than ever when it comes to abortion politics. How can pro-lifers break through that gridlock? I recently sat down with Utah Senator Mike Lee to hear his ideas. Senator Lee, thank you for taking the time to speak with us today.
Thank you.
Abortion is one of the most divisive topics. Abortion in politics, even more so. Working with your colleagues in the Senate who strongly disagree with your pro-life stance, how do you go about dialoguing with them on this issue, and what progress can be made on that front?
First of all, I think it's very important that we send the message of federalism and separation of powers. One of the reasons why Washington politics have become so divisive, so contentious, is because we put all of our eggs in this basket. One of the reasons why every Supreme Court nomination becomes this battle is because we put so much policy-making power, we've assumed into existence policy-making power that the Supreme Court was never supposed to have. So while I might not be able to persuade all of my colleagues who are not pro-life, as I am, to believe like I do, I find that sometimes when pushing the message of federalism and separation of powers, I can help them understand that it's important for us to follow not only the substantive protections in the Constitution, the substantive thou shalt nots, for example, in the Bill of Rights, but also the structural protections. Those structural protections benefit every one of us. And I believe they would do a lot to help us protect human life if we restored them. But there are other things that people who don't agree with us on this can like about federalism and separation of powers. That's why I focus on them.
You've shared a story before when you were 11 years old and a Greyhound bus came and parked in your quiet neighborhood. You were home alone. I think your sister was there too. And a busload of people came out and started protesting for abortion right outside your home. At such a young age, how did that shape how you viewed the abortion debate in America?
Well, it struck me as interesting. It struck me as peculiar and wildly inappropriate, frankly, that they thought that that was the appropriate way to send their message. Look, these people were there in front of my parents' home for the simple reason that they disagreed with the brief my father filed on behalf of the Reagan administration, taking a position that was actually in support of federalism and separation of powers. And in that case, he was saying that, look, the democratic process has worked its will in the state of Ohio, and the democratic process in the state of Ohio and within its political subdivisions, including the city of Akron, deserve a degree of deference when they're being reviewed by the Supreme Court. Even that was apparently too much for these people to handle, and so they had to come and protest. I thought that was an awkward, awful way of doing things, and it also highlighted to me the stakes that are involved in this, that there are people who feel so strongly about this that they're willing to take the steps they were taking that day, and yet they were taking them in order to perpetuate a system that has taken power away from the people where it belongs and moved it into a domain where the people can't reach it. It's taking a debatable matter beyond debate. And not just a debatable matter, but here, the sanctity of human life. And they're willing to say that that is somehow beyond the reach of the American people to influence in their elections and the people they elect. And that's very wrong.
One goal of this program is to hold our pro-life lawmakers, such as yourself, accountable to their pro-life promises. From your perspective, what is the most effective way for our viewers to do that? How can they make sure that their congressmen hear their voices?
Well, first of all, keep doing what you're doing. Keep talking about the sanctity of human life. Keep delivering the message of what this actually involves, what the stakes actually are. Go on social media and post articles that explain things to the American people that some of us take for granted within the pro-life movement. Post articles when you see them about the fact that at 20 weeks of fetal development, it's a known scientific fact that a baby can experience pain, such that an abortion taking place after that needs to be viewed in the barbaric light in which the scientific research suggests that it should be viewed.
That's very helpful. Senator Mike Lee of Utah, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.